Hello students, welcome to the ethics class. Today we will be discussing 2017 question 14. This is the first part of the question. This is the second part. Again, you should have attempted this question at least once on your own. Then it would be beneficial to watch the video. And what measures would you suggest to separate genuine and non-genuine applications and give merits and demerits of your suggestions? Here you have to understand that even though UPSC is asking to suggest measures to separate genuine and non-genuine applications, you should not actually do that. I will explain why. And then merits and demerits are written in a different way. So let us see why it is important. You should never separate between genuine and non-genuine RTI applications because it is unwarranted. Let us see why. RTI reiterates that people are bosses of public offices. Why? Because public offices are based on public money and for public interest. As such, they are both beneficiaries and also they provide the money. So they are actually the bosses. As such, public officers are accountable for their actions to the people and hence their actions need to be transparent. Thus, any information asked by citizen need to be submitted to him or her. It does not matter how the information may be used. Also, any presumption of how it will be used is unwarranted. Thus, no restriction should be placed on giving information by public officers. This will continue. Why? Because if responding to RTI applications is cumbersome, then automatic voluntary disclosure of all relevant decisions online in easy search format would help in removing the burden of RTI applications. So if you feel like replying to RTI is a burden, then disclose the information automatically in easy search format so that no one would file RTI. And it is necessary because it has to be transparent. Public offices are based on public money. At the same time, it doesn't mean that public officers need to worry or they have to face policy paralysis. It is nothing like that. The answer continues. Public officers need not worry about honest, genuine and small mistakes in their decision making because such decision would not attract media, vigilance, public, etc. Such decisions people do not take seriously. Such mistakes people do not take seriously. If you are making honest mistake, genuine mistake or small mistake, because such mistakes are part of life and they happen. Such mistakes will not lead to policy paralysis, so you need not worry that people will discover the small mistakes. Thus, complete transparency is the only way forward, like draft data accessibility and use policy. This is not some utopia. This is not something that I am saying. Even the government of India itself realized that, and hence it has released the draft data accessibility and use for policy. According to this policy, it has invited even public consultations. According to this policy, government will disclose all the government information by default. It will disclose in online format. It will disclose in easy search options so that it is taking its operation transparently. Except some very critical information, it will disclose all the information automatically. Because that is how public offices should operate. That is how they operate even in developed countries. They have to be transparent because they are based on public money and for public interest. They are not some private offices. So thus complete transparency is the only way forward, and that is why even central government is taking steps in that direction, like draft data accessibility and use policy. So you should not distinguish between genuine and non-genuine applications. Your duty is to disclose. If you have made any mistake, then you have to be accountable. And if you made only genuine or small mistake, no one cares. Only when you make mistakes with ill intentions, on purpose, they are not mistakes, you have done something wrong on purpose, then you have to worry. For example, if you do a big scam, then obviously people will question that. You cannot claim as policy paralysis. As long as you take decision properly, you do not have to worry. Small mistakes, no one cares. And if we see, it is opacity which is far more dangerous and violates many principles and rights. Thus, there is no merit in trying to distinguish between genuine and non-genuine applications, which would again introduce opacity, arbitrariness, remove accountability, introduce conflict of interest when government itself will decide which is genuine application and which is non-genuine applications. then it is conflict of interest. So government on the other hand would benefit from non-disclosing information. On the other hand, it itself will decide genuineness, then there is conflict of interest. Then it will unreasonably empower government against its citizens, and it would disable public with respect to information. Hence there are many demerits if you try to distinguish. Hence you do not distinguish between genuine and non-genuine RTI applications, because there are many demerits which are far more dangerous. So there is merit only in not differentiating between genuine and non-genuine applications. And in fact you should move forward towards complete transparency, because it is the only way forward. It would reduce the burden of RTI. It would also ensure complete transparency. So you need not worry about RTI applicants. As long as you make right decisions, RTI applicants cannot blackmail or do anything wrong. And yes, because public offices are based on public money and for public interest, you have to disclose. You cannot keep any information secret. So if you see, it comes to around 217 words. So this is the thing you need to understand. It's not that filing RTI is something automatically bad or not. Even if there is one genuine application, you need to disclose your information because it is your duty. If someone tries to blackmail, then you have to address the blackmail separately. And as long as you make right decision, no one can blackmail. Honest mistakes also no one can blackmail. Only if you do some mistake with ill intention, then only you need to worry. And only such people try to curb RTI. Such people try to curb RTI activism. So if you do something wrong on purpose, then only you need to worry. Otherwise you need not worry. So this is how you need to view the problem. So that is all. Thank you.